In today's video, we're going to be going over the current conditions. We're also going to be taking a look at some major flooding that we're going to be seeing later on, just in a couple of days, and then also that huge cool down that we're going to be seeing in the eastern United States. There's multiple things to go over, including some tropical threats as well that we need to talk about. So things are getting really crazy all of a sudden. Let's just go over it. We can see that there is a lot of activity here in the Four Corners states. No surprise, this summer has been this way for quite a while now. There is some showery activity up there in the northern Rockies as well. And then we can see throughout the plains up through the Ohio Valley and Great Lakes, we do have some showers and thunderstorms ongoing at this point as well. Then just offshore of the East Coast, we have a ton of activity there that has just moved offshore. And this looks to kind of just move out and do basically nothing because it's already offshore. Now, we do have this tropical thunderstorm activity that we'll have to talk about in a little bit, even some of that being onshore, well onshore actually up here. We'll zoom into all of these different regions in just a moment. But right now, we're taking a look at some showery activity, mostly lighter there for Washington, Idaho, and Montana. So not really any huge concerns with that. We can see for the Four Corner states, there is a very hefty amount of precipitation here in the southern Four Corner states, particularly almost all of New Mexico, and then basically southern, southeastern Arizona, I would say, is seeing this light to moderate to even heavier shower activity that is definitely packing a punch there for most of New Mexico. We can see as we move up to the upper Midwest and the Great Lakes as well as the plains, we have just these showers and thunderstorms around Kansas, Oklahoma, Missouri, seeing some of those thunderstorms, and then Illinois, Indiana, Wisconsin, Iowa, and Michigan, seeing some of those as well up there to the north. Now, as we move southward here, we can see this Gulf activity here, where we just have a lot of these isolated and scattered, very tiny thunderstorms taking place down here for states like Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Florida, and possibly even Georgia. Now, we do see that there is some heavier thunderstorms up here for portions of Arkansas, Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia. And these are definitely heavier because we're seeing some deeper reds with these, and just the shape of these cluster thunderstorms are looking pretty impactful. Birmingham got some of those a little bit earlier, it appears, and they're moving up towards whatever this highway is. They're moving towards that corridor. Now, we can see offshore of the East Coast, we do have this activity, and really, when we look at North Carolina and Virginia, it does appear like this was onshore at a certain point, but that has moved offshore this morning and come to an end. But there is some more rainfall expected a little bit later on throughout the week, so keep that in mind. Now, what we're going to do is move on, dive into the model guidance. We're going to talk about that storminess that's really going to cause some major flooding potentially, the total precipitation with that major flooding, and then we'll take a look at the temperature pattern and a deep dive into the tropics. Now, here we are taking a look at the upcoming pattern. As we take a look at this evening, better yet, this will be this evening. We can see a ton of storminess already taking place throughout most of these areas in here. Again, most of that flooding is going to occur in these regions. Texas, Oklahoma, into Louisiana, Arkansas, Mississippi, Alabama. So basically the deeper south areas. As we reach Sunday evening time frame, we can see a lot of that happening in there as well. Monday afternoon, some even heavier activity happening in here, right in there. That's where a lot of that flooding is taking place on Monday, August 22nd. Now, Tuesday, August 23rd, just moves down into the deeper south where they've already had a ton of precipitation over the past few days before this. We're seeing a lot here as well. Major flooding cannot be ruled out with this activity. Wednesday even, it's going to be the 24th. We're seeing a lot of activity here and up here as well. Definitely worth noting. Then Thursday, the 25th here, we see for the deeper southeast, we're seeing a lot of this activity up there. And then for the northeast and the north central United States, we're seeing some storminess there. Then by the time we're reaching Friday, things quiet down a little bit. We do see a lot of this activity here in the southeast. Any of these points is when we'd be watching for a potential nor'easter to develop. In this pattern, it just cannot be ruled out because the jet stream is going to be like this a lot, which means that these lows can basically ride along that, head northeast, and that would be a nor'easter if that was to take place. Saturday, the 27th here, it actually looks like a bit of one develops here between Friday, the 26th, and maybe Sunday. We see it down here, this activity, but as we approach Saturday, it's kind of over this middle region here. And then by the time we're reaching kind of Sunday, Monday time frame, it's offshore of New England there as a more developed low. So that could be a nor'easter that develops in this pattern. And really, towards the end here, August 30th, we're still in a stormy pattern in the east and definitely a ridge in the west, trough in the east pattern, it appears. So this could bring some very, very interesting conditions. Now, as far as total precipitation through the next 10 days, no surprise that we expect a gargantuan amount down there in those regions where we expect flooding to be possible. Your whites are going to be where we expect practically no precipitation. Your grays will be about 1/10 of an inch or less. Your greens will be 1/10 of an inch to 1/2 an inch. Your blues will be 1/2 an inch to an inch. Your yellows will be 1 inch to 2 inches. Your reds will be 2 to 5 inches. And then your browns will be 5 to 10 inches of precipitation. And then your blues will be even 10 inches plus there for Louisiana, Texas, and Oklahoma. I see some of that. What that means, first off, in the green region, or the brown regions, better yet, that's where we expect 1/2 an inch to an inch every single day over the next 10 days on average. A lot of that's going to come just on a couple of those days, but your average over the next 10 days is going to be that. In your blues, you'll be about an inch or more per day on average over the next 10 days, which is an insane amount to think about. And again, most of that's going to happen over the course of, 2 to 3 days. They're kind of in the middle of this 10-day period. So definitely a concerning look, to say the least. Now, for the upcoming temperature pattern, let's just dive right into it. We're already in some cooler conditions here in the eastern United States as well as the Four Corner states. A lot of this is going to come with that cloudiness and precipitation, though. This isn't going to be actually like a cold air mass over place. It's just going to be the fact that there's not sunny and hot conditions taking place, which is your kind of usual type of weather that you see for that region. Now, by Sunday, tomorrow, August 21st, we see a lot of cooler temperatures down underneath. A lot of warmth here for the west, positive PNA taking place, and a little bit here for the northeast still. Now, by the time we're taking a look at Monday afternoon, we see this cold air down here, but also some other cold air that might come and join it down below. And by the time we're taking a look at Tuesday, a little bit of a confused pattern, but we definitely see some cooler air underneath taking place. Here's Wednesday, August 24th. Still cold in the east for the most part here. Warmer out west. This European model is a little bit less bullish, I would say, with this. But we do see another cold air mass heading in slowly but surely. We see cold air still underneath, and then a lot of warm air here in between. But that could get squashed here. By Saturday, August 27th here, we see a lot of cooler air in here with some warmth in between, but for the most part, cooler air is prevailing. We do see a little bit of warmth here in between still, but some cooler air underneath here for Saturday, August 27th, better yet. Now, Monday, August 29th, it seems like there's a warm air mass that might want to head in here a little bit later in the pattern according to this European model. We'll have to wait and see if that does take place, but we still do have a very strong positive PNA here, which tells me this cooler air is going to be just forcing its way down south. But this is the end of the model run, so we're left hanging with this one. But definitely there's a big cold air mass right here that's likely to head into the eastern United States, according to everything I've seen on this model run. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the 5-day graphical tropical weather outlook real quickly. Now we do have Tropical Cyclone 4 right here, and we will take a look at this in just a moment. We have a 70% chance of development, by the way, with that one. But we do also have a tropical disturbance in our main development region where there's a 0% chance over the next 48 hours of development with that one, and then a 20% chance over the next 5 days. We usually start with smaller percentages with these, so this doesn't mean that this thing won't develop. This percentage definitely could go up over the coming days, but chances are low at this point. We will continue to track it, however. Now, let's take a deep dive into Tropical Cyclone 4 real quickly, though. So since it's technically Tropical Cyclone 4, we do actually get a cone forecast from the National Hurricane Center for this one, and it is expected to become a tropical storm, as you can see, over the coming hours later today. And then by the time we're reaching tonight, it'll already be over the southern tip of Texas as a tropical depression, definitely bringing some precipitation, obviously, with it. So flooding cannot be ruled out with this storm either. Definitely something that needs to be watched throughout the late night tonight into the early morning tomorrow, even afternoon of tomorrow. This will still be over southern Texas, so we need to watch that really, really closely. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Be sure to smash the like button, leave a comment down below, and subscribe for more weather-related content. I'll see you guys in the next video.